you're only one win away from changing everything in your life. One breakthrough, one decision, one moment where you refuse to quit. Most people stop right before it happens. They get tired, they get discouraged, they start questioning themselves. But what if the reason it feels heavy right now is because you're closer than you think? Pressure doesn't show up when you're standing still. It shows up when you're moving forward. The hardest part was starting. The hardest part was believing in something you couldn't see yet. And you did that. You started. Then you kept going. One step at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one disciplined decision when quitting would have been easier. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's a winner building momentum. Yes, times may be hard, but hard times are a test, not a sentence. Pressure doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're being forged. Every delay is building patience. Every setback is building resilience. Every rejection is building strengths. You are not breaking, you are becoming stronger. Winners don't stop when it's slow. They don't stop when it's boring. They don't stop when nobody is watching. They show up anyway because winners find a way. Not excuses, not reasons, a way. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It only matters that you don't stop. You are only one win away. So don't quit now, because the breakthrough might be one more try. And that win could change everything. The doubt, the exhaustion, the nights where you question if you're even cut out for this. Because yes, times may be hard right now. Maybe harder than you expected. Maybe heavier than you planned for. Maybe lonelier than you thought it would be. But hear me clearly. This is not your downfall. This is your test, and tests are temporary. Pressure doesn't mean you're failing. Pressure means you're being forged. Steel is tested by fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Strength is built through resistance, and you are being built. Every delay is building patience. Every setback is building resilience. Every rejection is building toughness. Every silent season is building discipline. You think you're stuck, but you're strengthening muscles you didn't even know you had. Mental strength, and that's the difference between average and unstoppable. Average people break when it gets uncomfortable. Winners bend, but they don't break. Winners adjust, but they don't quit. Winners feel fear, but they move anyway. You don't become powerful when everything is easy. You become powerful when everything is heavy and you still show up. That's what you're doing right now. Even when you feel tired, even when you feel discouraged, even when nobody sees your effort, you're still here. And that matters because the fact that you're still trying means something inside you refuses to surrender. That's not weakness. That's identity. You are someone who finds a way. You are someone who endures. You are someone who pushes when others pause. So if it feels like a test right now, good. Pass it. Not by being perfect, but by refusing to quit, because the reward isn't just success. The reward is who you become in the process. Stronger, calmer, sharper, unshakable. And once you build that level of mental strength, nothing can stop you. Not circumstances, not opinions, not obstacles, not time. This is not the end of your story. This is the training ground. You're not breaking, you're leveling up. Here's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Winners find a way. Not excuses, not reasons, not backup plans for quitting away. When the door closes, they knock harder. When it doesn't open, they build their own entrance. When there's no path, they create one. Because winners don't rely on perfect conditions. They rely on commitment. And commitment doesn't ask, is this convenient? It asks, is this worth it? Let me ask you something. Is your future worth discomfort? Is your freedom worth sacrifice? Is your dream worth being misunderstood for a season? Because if the answer is yes, then there is no quitting. There is only adjusting. Winners don't stop when it's slow. They don't stop when it's boring. They don't stop when nobody is watching. They show up anyway. They work anyway. They push anyway. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It only matters that you don't stop. Some victories take months. Some take years. Some take relentless consistency. that most people don't have the patience for. But the timeline does not disqualify you. Delay is not denial. Slow progress is still progress. Every rep you put in, every disciplined day, every quiet sacrifice is stacking. Momentum is building, even if you can't see it yet. You don't need applause to continue. You don't need validation to move forward. You don't need proof to believe. You need discipline. You need faith in your process. And you need to decide that quitting is no longer an option. Because once quitting is removed, the only direction left is forward. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when obstacles turn into stepping stones. That's when people start saying, I don't know how they did it. And the truth is simple. You did it. Because you refused to stop. You did it. Because you kept going when it wasn't glamorous. You did it. Because you decided your future was bigger than your excuses. You are not waiting for motivation, you are building momentum, and momentum changes everything. So remember this. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. And you are creating yours right now. One disciplined decision at a time. You have survived things that once felt impossible. Think about that. There were moments you didn't know how you would get through. Moments that tested your patience. Moments that tested your strength. Moments that tested your belief in yourself, and yet you're still here. That is not accidental. That is not ordinary. That is resilience. You don't give yourself enough credit for how far you've already come. You focus on how far you have to go, but you forget how much you've grown. The version of you from a year ago would be proud of the strength you have now. You are not fragile. You are forged through setbacks, forged through sacrifice, forged through discipline when nobody was watching. And forged people do not break easily. You are stronger than your doubts, stronger than your fears, stronger than the voice in your head that tells you to slow down. Because strength is not loud, strength is not flashy, strength is quiet consistency. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's working when you'd rather rest, it's believing when there is no evidence yet. That's what makes you dangerous in the best way possible. Not because you're aggressive, but because you are disciplined. Not because you're fearless, but because you move forward even when fear is present. That is power. Real power is control. Control over your emotions. But control over your reactions, control over your decision to keep going. You don't need perfect circumstances, you don't need ideal timing, you don't need everything to align. You need one thing. The decision that quitting is no longer an option. And once that decision is made, you become unstoppable. Not because the road is easy, but because your mindset is stronger than the road. You are not behind, you are not finished, you are not failing, you are evolving. And evolution always feels uncomfortable before it feels powerful. Stay with it. You are becoming exactly who you need to be, to handle the future you're asking for.